From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, October 15th. A great start to the day early this morning, but a cold front and some rain are moving in. We do need that rain, but the temperatures are going to drop throughout the day and dip into the 30s overnight. So be sure to grab that jacket, even though you might not think you need it this morning, because you certainly will later today. Horrible news this morning. Just a couple tragedies that we've been talking about. It's hard to report news like this, but a child died and another is injured after they were hit by a car overnight, and the driver of the car just took off. They didn't stay and see how the kids were doing. Right now, police are looking for that driver. This happened just before 11:30 last night. It's Wednesday night on Nelson Avenue near Shelby Street and East Troy Avenue. According to Indianapolis police, a 22-month-old boy wandered out into the street, and his 10-year-old sister went to try to grab him, and that's when police say a vehicle hit both of them and just kept driving. The boy didn't survive. His sister is in serious condition but is said to be stable. Police haven't released a description of that vehicle yet, but in the meantime, if you know anything about this, they are asking you to please contact them. And that tragedy followed the death of another toddler who was hit and killed by a vehicle in what investigators believe was a terrible accident. The police say a family member was behind the wheel this time. It happened on the east side of Indianapolis just before noon yesterday. It was on Ebby Street near I-465 and I-70. According to IMPD, the driver is not under arrest, was not under arrest, but was taken into custody just to complete the investigation. Right now, it's not clear if the child was in the driveway or maybe in the street before getting hit, but certainly a parent's, a family's worst nightmare, so keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Hospitalizations from COVID-19 are going in the wrong direction. Right now, 1,357 people in Indiana are in the hospital with the virus. The number's even worse than yesterday, which was 1,288. In the last 31 days, hospitalizations are now up 85%. Yesterday, state health officials confirmed nearly 1,200 new cases. So now more than 139,000 people statewide have tested positive. Another 14 have died. So that makes for 3,609 deaths in Indiana so far. All right, and as fall break approaches, it's likely families are going to want to do some traveling, maybe have those plans already. Today, Indianapolis and Marion County officials are going to be talking about what they want you to do in order to plan ahead. We're going to also learn more about what health officials want you to do this Halloween. So Mayor Joe Hogshead's update is going to give us an idea of how the city is doing with the coronavirus as numbers surge across the state. City county officials have already released guidelines for Halloween and have recommended to skip that traditional trick-or-treating this year. I know this is devastating for my son, who is asking almost on a daily basis if it's time for Halloween, if it's time for trick-or-treat. So we're having that conversation early now, just in case we do, in case we're not able to follow through with that, which is likely going to happen. So if there are things that you can do with your kids early and make kind of some trade-offs, maybe you can't do that, but you can take them to Newfields or the Children's Museum or Zubu or something like that. It could help a little bit with this. But in-person gatherings or parties with more than 50 people will also not be allowed within Marion County. You can watch the mayor's update today at 3:30 on wishtv.com, and we'll stream it also on our Facebook page. And the statewide mask mandate is extended for another month. Governor Holcomb held his weekly updates yesterday, and he himself is waking up this morning in quarantine. That's because our state's health commissioner tested positive for COVID-19. Here's News 8's Dan Klein. He reports that Holcomb blames people ignoring health guidelines for the recent surge.
Too many are ignoring science and are rolling the dice.
The numbers are obvious. Indiana is heading in the wrong direction. A record number of positive cases, hospitalizations at levels not seen since May, and the positivity rate jumping more than a full percentage point in less than a month.
I'm concerned every minute of the day.
Our numbers are not good, and they're very concerning.
Especially for hospitals, where patient numbers statewide have nearly doubled in the past month. While Governor Eric Holcomb added 4 more weeks to the mask mandate, extending it to November 14th, he imposed no other new restrictions. He says it's not event size which is the problem, but too many people not masking and socially distancing when they should.
We are proving that you can go to a Colts game or a soccer game or school or go shopping, and you can do it safely. The numbers, in fact, have everything to do with how many of us are and aren't letting our guard down.
As he was pressed about no changes, he pointed to other states which are seeing surges even with far more stringent guidelines. Holcomb and other top officials spoke Wednesday from quarantine because of Dr. Box's positive test results the previous day. From separate locations, a common plea.
We are all over dealing with this, but this pandemic is not over.
A disregard for the health of their fellow citizens.
Please look at the choices you're making. Think of your grandmother, elderly neighbor, your coworker.
It always traces back to the surges, traces back to folks who just believe it won't happen to them.
Governor Holcomb said the rapid test he took Tuesday for the virus was negative. He hopes to have results today for another test that he took yesterday. All right, Indiana hospitals are doubling down on the message to mask up as the coronavirus cases surge. The Indiana Hospital Association represents nearly 170 hospitals across the state. They're urging you to keep practicing those guidelines, including washing your hands, social distancing, and wearing masks. The group cites recent hospitalization trends, saying, quote, "We need Hoosiers to do their part to support caregivers on the front lines caring for patients, including those with COVID-19. Restaurants, bars, and entertainment venues in Indianapolis can now apply for financial assistance. The assistance comes from the Hospitality Establishment Lifeline Payment Program. Eligible businesses can receive up to $25,000. That money can be used to offset rent or mortgage payments. The city will also use $1 million to help reimburse restaurants for buying heaters and canopies to help keep outdoor seating open through the winter. We do have a link on how to apply for this under the Inside Indiana Business tab on wishtv.com.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
First Lady Melania Trump says Barron Trump, her son, she and President Trump's son, tested positive for COVID-19 at the same time that she and the president did. The couple's 14-year-old son has since tested negative. The First Lady announced that Barron did not experience any symptoms. And President Trump and Joe Biden will take part in competing town halls tonight. You're going to have to flip back and forth or maybe record one and then go to the other. A town hall style debate that was supposed to take place tonight was canceled. President Trump's event with NBC News is scheduled for 8 o'clock tonight in Miami. ABC will host Joe Biden's town hall at the same time in Philadelphia. Tonight's canceled debate was supposed to be the second meeting between the candidates. The president objected to the virtual format, which was suggested after he tested positive for coronavirus. The third debate is scheduled for next Thursday. Indiana Judge Amy Coney Barrett is one step closer to a seat on the Supreme Court. The Senate Judiciary Committee will begin discussions today to consider her nomination. Here's John Lawrence. He reports that Barrett will likely know before November if she'll be the High Court's newest addition.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett moving closer to a seat on the Supreme Court of the United States.
I would say you're one of the greatest picks President Trump could have made.
Barrett was grilled over a 2-day period on issues including health care, voting rights, and the environment.
Do you believe that climate change is happening and is threatening the air we breathe and the water we drink?
I will not express a view on a matter of public policy, especially one that is politically controversial.
You've made your point clear that you believe it's a debatable point.
If Barrett is confirmed, she will succeed the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and give the High Court a 6-3 conservative majority.
We've seen that our Democratic colleagues have very few questions actually to raise about Judge Barrett's qualifications.
Among the questions Barrett wouldn't answer included whether she would recuse herself in a possible legal battle over November's presidential election.
I certainly hope that all members of the committee have more confidence in my integrity than to think that I would allow myself to be used as a pawn to decide this election for the American people.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Today is the last day to be counted in the 2020 census. A Supreme Court ruling on Tuesday allows the Trump administration to end field census operations early. The tally must be completed every 10 years. The census is used to determine federal funding for communities and how many congressional seats are allotted to states. You can fill out the census today by heading to 2020census.gov. NDOT is hosting another job fair for seasonal workers across the state. The event is being held at 9 different locations across the state, including Indianapolis. Starting pay for seasonal workers is $16 an hour. NDOT is offering a $250 sign-on bonus and a $500 retention bonus. For more information on all of this and the locations, just head to wishtv.com. All right, now to business headlines. 1 billion kids globally may be out of school because of the pandemic. The World Bank says it's worried about the kids, especially in developing countries, and especially if a second wave hits or a vaccine takes longer than expected. An additional 150 million people are now projected to be in extreme poverty next year because of the coronavirus. Americans used most of their stimulus checks on savings and paying down debts. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says roughly 36% of the relief payments went to savings and 35% was used to pay off debt. About 18% was spent on essentials and just 8% was allocated to non-essential goods. Should a second round of payments go out, Americans expect to allocate larger shares to savings and use slightly less for erasing debt. United Airlines says it is stockpiling cash and cutting costs. They are key to withstanding coronavirus pandemic. It reported a quarterly loss of $1.8 billion compared with a $1 billion profit during the same period a year ago. Cash has become key for airlines trying to make it through the most severe challenge in memory, with demand for travel languishing and little revenue coming in. JCPenney is still negotiating its planned sale to mall owners Simon and Brookfield in a process that continues to drag on as key dates loom this week. Texas bankruptcy judge David Jones approved a timeline in the proceedings last week that would have the retailer cement its sale talks and file a number of documents by this Friday. If you are among the estimated 29 million people, planning to dress up their pets this year, pumpkins, hot dogs, and superheroes are among the most popular costume choices. The National Retail Federation says 10% of pet lovers will dress their animal in a pumpkin costume, while 6% will dress their cat or dog as a hot dog, 5% as a superhero, and 3% of dogs will go as a cat. Victory Field will host a sport other than baseball. Today, the bats are being replaced by tees and golf clubs. The links at Victory Field round 2 kicks off today. The first event in late August was sold out. $39 per person or $140 for a foursome. You can have a group of up to 10 or 15 people in the Yingling Landing. Victory Field's communications director joined us live on Daybreak this morning.
3 different pricing options, pretty straightforward scoring system, 9 tee locations. As you wrap your way around the concourse, you actually finish up over in the Elements Financial Club from the 9th tee box. We've got a full service bar in there, so take your time, enjoy yourself. No one is ever in a rush to get off the golf course when they're going out to play 18 holes, so when you come to the Vic this afternoon or this weekend through Saturday, take your time, enjoy yourself, because it could be your last time here this year.
The links opened at 10 o'clock this morning. Ahead of Week 6, Philip Rivers had some explaining to do. Will Rivers' crucial mistakes become a thing of the past? Our Charlie Clifford has the latest quarterback chatter.
Monday, Frank Reich reeled it back in. Quarterback, the least of his worries. Upon further review, a bit overdone and dramatic, according to the head coach. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Philip Rivers emerges from the film room.
The first interception, the second interception, none of them are pretty, and none of them are do I put in the those don't matter category. They all matter, but the first one for the touchdown was obviously terrible.
A small gift Wednesday at practice. Anthony Costanzo, after missing the trip to Cleveland, working in pads, potentially easing the pressure Sunday versus Cincinnati.
I just think Philip has a good knack of focusing on the next opponent. There's always so much work to be done, so much film to watch. We all know he's a fiery, emotional guy.
We are 3-2. We don't need to. There is no panic here. Usually those games you don't win. If you have a good team, the quarterback probably stunk it up a little bit.
Not letting a poor performance fester for an entire week, Philip Rivers has been down this road before. So how does he bury the loss to the Browns? Well, start on Sunday night by not taking it home.
I've always been very thankful that having my family at home, my wife and children at home has always helped that. It was some good teaching moments there to say, shoot, guys, we can still talk and have a good time and pull in here and get takeout somewhere. We're not going to just mope around because Dad lost a game.
A refreshing response as the Colts hope that Hall of Fame form is ready to surface in their gunslinger.
This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This episode of News 8 Daily 8 is presented by Downtown Indy.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.